Hey, welcome back to our video series on how to be the most successful pre-need agent that you could possibly be. So let me ask you this question. You made the decision to come work with us, and for that we're very grateful. We have a responsibility to help you be successful, and that's what this is all about. But let me ask you this question. If we just started today is the very first day, this is the very first chance that you've had an opportunity to do anything in this business, where would you start? What would you do? What do you need to know to be successful in this business? Well, there's some basic terminology and things like that that you do need to know. And I want you to take the material that you have, the sales agent kit, the applications, all of the material, you need to go through it and you need to read it. I'm serious, you need to read it line by line. And on the back side of those application pages, there's some information. You should read that too, because there's fine print there. And sometimes there may be a family that actually asks you a question about something and the answer is contained there. You might want to take a minute to read that. It's powerful. You might learn something that could help you answer a question that will help you provide the coverage for a family later that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So I want you to start there. I want you to read the literature. I want you to read the information. I want you to spend some time studying the literature, because if you don't know the literature, when you're sitting with a family, you won't even know where to write their name. So you have to spend time with that literature. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of that today, because I want you to do that on your own. I want you to look at it. I want you to take care of that, because you need to understand that literature and you have to spend time with that. And if you're not comfortable filling out the application, you need to make photocopies and practice filling it out some more, because you have to start there. So once we understand some paperwork and some terminology, where do you start? Well, this is a sales position. Fair enough. And if you're going to be in the world of sales, you have to start with some information like, how do you prospect? And that's what I want to spend a few minutes with you on today. I want to talk with you about where to start prospecting. I remember years ago when I interviewed with a company, Fortune 500 insurance company, great group. One of the things that they required me to do before they would even really interview me is to come to the table with a list of at least 100, preferably 250 people that I knew in the community that I could go call on them and say, hi, my name is Ed, and I work with the insurance company and I'd like to talk with you. So where do you want to start? You know, you and I have an opportunity to serve a lot of people. And as I shared with you in the introduction, one of the most unique things about what we get to share is the fact that every single person that you and I will ever see, they're going to need a funeral. There's no way around it. They will need a funeral, and it's our job to help them understand that so that they can make those plans long before anyone ever needs this. But where do you start? When I have the opportunity to share this live with agents, I have a little contest. I can't really do a contest with you, but I have a contest because I invite them all to take out their phones. All of us have one. Some of us still have flip phones, some of us have smartphones, some of us have the latest, greatest iPhone. Regardless of the phone that you have one. And contained within your phone are contacts. And so I want to challenge you right now to take out your phone, and I would invite you to open your phone, turn it on, and I would invite you to go to the contacts on your phone. There's a whole list of contacts on your phone, A to Z. And somewhere in this phone, there are probably 50, 75, 100, maybe 200 or 300 people that you know who live close enough to you that you could call them up and say, Jerry, hi, this is Ed. Hadn't talked to you in a few days. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I just changed careers and I've got something I'd love to talk with you about, because every single person that I know and that I've ever known, I have to share this information with them, and I want to share it with you. And they may be thinking, what the heck are you talking about? Why did you call me? What is this all about? Jerry, it's important. Matter of fact, it's one of the most important conversations I ever want to have with you, and I'd love to have 15 or 20 minutes to just stop by and tell you what I'm doing. And if they push you, you may want to even tell them, hey, I went to work with Security National Life, or hey, I went to work with a funeral home. However you want to market that, that's you, but I want you to realize that every single person in your phone, you need to talk with them, without exception. Because like I shared with you in the introductory video, none of us will get out of here alive. Every single person that you know at some point in the future is going to have to deal with the death of either someone in their immediate family, someone they know, or maybe even their own death. So I just want to ask you this question. If you got a phone call tomorrow afternoon from a very close friend or a family member who just told you that someone had died unexpectedly, and you'd been in the business for some period of time, enough time that you should have already talked to them, and you hadn't talked to them, and they find out that you're in this business to help people plan for these things that are all going to happen to us, how are they going to feel when they find out that you're in an industry that could have helped them save tremendous amounts of grief and anxiety whenever someone died, and you never talked to them? What are you going to say? When someone that you love or you know well calls you and says, "I can't believe it, but," and they're gone, and you know in your heart of hearts that you could have helped them, and you know in your heart of hearts that you could have had a conversation with them that changed what happened the moment after they got their phone call. That's how important this is. I'm not trying to put you on a guilt trip or anything like that, but I am trying to impress upon you the fact that you and I are in possession of literally hundreds and hundreds of names of people that we claim that we like. We claim we like them. We claim that we love them. And yet I promise you there are agents all across the country who've never called the people on their phone. And so my challenge to you right now is to take 10 minutes and go through your phone. There's a document that's available as a PDF that's downloadable, that's next to this video that's online that you're looking at. Download that PDF, because on that PDF there's a way for you to identify at least 100 people that are in your phone, and I want you to write their name down. And I want you to jot down their name, and then on the second page of that PDF form, there's a place for you to truly identify those who you need to see first. Because the reality is someone that's 25 is not going to have the same inclination nor desire to have this conversation with you as someone who's 50 or 60 years of age or someone who's 70 years of age. Young people, you were young, I was young at one time, we don't think we're ever going to die. So we're not that interested in it. But I promise you, those who are 50, 60, 70 years of age, they're closer. And you know them. You know these people. You know all kinds of people. Now you have a responsibility, because you work with us. You have a responsibility to reach out to them. Simple phone call. "Hey Jerry, this is Ed. I don't know if I've chatted with you recently and told you about the changes that I've made, but I want you to know that I've made a change in my career. And even if you've been in the insurance business, you made a change in your career because now you're representing a company and you're representing and helping people do something that's probably the most important thing that they could ever do for themselves. Jerry, you're not going to believe it, but I'm in the pre-need funeral business." "What? You're in what? I don't want to talk to you about that." That's the beauty of it, Jerry. Nobody wants to talk to me about this. Nobody does. Nobody ever does. But the fact is, Jerry, every single person that you know today and I know today, every one of us at some point in the future, we're not going to wake up. And I just want to have a conversation with you. 10 or 15 minutes, that's all I need, Jerry, just to show you what I'm doing. I need you to understand the process. I need you to understand the decisions, the simple decisions that have to be made, but can be made years in advance before anyone ever needs it, because it's powerful. And it'll give you peace of mind like you've never had. So I'd like to stop by either tomorrow afternoon or Thursday afternoon, which is better for you. And we'll talk about setting appointments a little bit later in this. But I just want to give you an idea that you need to talk to everybody that you know. Because everyone that you know need and absolutely will have the services that we can provide for them. And our job in this business, as I said earlier, is to help people understand that they ought to make these decisions, and they can make these decisions years before anyone ever needs them. And the peace of mind that they have in doing that is amazing. When you know you don't have to worry about anything anymore, that's a nice feeling. So I want to challenge you to print out the sheet, print the PDF, fill it out. Print out 2 or 3 if you can. Fill out 1 or 2 or 300 names of people that you know in your community that are close enough to you that you could drive to their house or pick up the phone and call them and go see them, because that's where I want you to start. It's the best place to begin. Because if you care about them and you love them and you really do consider them to be friends, help me understand why you would not want to call them. Take the time, print out the form, sort through them, identify those who are the best possible candidates. That's what the second sheet is all about. And then sit down and make the calls. Or get in your car and drive to their house and knock on the door and say, hey, you got a minute? I have something I really need to talk with you about. It's that important, guys. You can't be afraid to do this. You can't be afraid to start there. And I want you to start there because this is not an easy conversation. It's not. And no one wants to have this with you, and that's okay. But everyone will at some point, and so you might as well start with people that you know you're comfortable with, that are not going to beat you down to have this conversation. So start there. Print the form, process through it, and then begin to make the call. And my challenge to you is this week, when you print that form, you should have at least 2 appointments a day, this week, all week, to see those who are closest to you. Make that happen this week. I'll see you in the next video.